Okay, so let's talk about the structure for this course, Eco 209. So here's the contents of the book that we are going to be following, which is Macroeconomics by Olivier Blanchard. And if you guys look at the two columns, the first column on the left is what we did in Eco 207. Okay, so we have the short run chapters 3 to 6, then medium run from 7 to 9, and then long run from 10 to 13. This is what we've done in 207. The right column is what we will be doing for 209. So just like Eco 207, this course is also going to be divided into three parts. We will start with the expectation chapters, then we move on to open economy, and then we conclude with back to bonds. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail soon, but what you need to keep in mind is that look at the heading. The heading of the first column is core, so the core chapters are 1 to 13, and then you have the extension chapters from 14 to 24. That effectively means that everything that we do in this course, Eco 209, builds on top of what you are expected to already know from Eco 207, which is chapter 1 to 13, or rather chapter 13, 3 to 13. 1 and 2 are just introductions. So unless you have a very clear understanding of everything that happened in Eco 207, you are going to have a very difficult time doing well in 209. So if you look at chapter 14, it's financial markets and expectations. So unless you understand chapter 4 and 5, which is where we talked about the financial markets, you are going to have a very difficult time understanding chapter 14. Similarly, chapter 15 has expectations, consumption, and investment. So once again, unless you have a very clear idea of chapter 3, the goods market, you're going to have a very difficult time doing well in the content of chapter 15. So it all builds on top of one another. So for the first week of this course, I'm going to call it the review week, week 1. We're not going to do anything on from the core syllabus of Eco 209. Use this first week to review, brush up on everything that we've done in Eco 207. And if you have any gaps in understanding or whatnot, this first week is your time to fill up that gap. So now let's come to the course outline. Okay, so just like the book, the course outline is updated, uploaded in BUX, so you should all have access to it. So over here we have a course schedule. So as I said, week 1 is just introduction to the course 209 and then review of 207. Then we go into the expectation chapters, 3 chapters from expectation subsection. We will finish that in 3 weeks, week 2, 3, and 4. And then immediately after that, at the end of week 4, we will have our first quiz. Okay? Don't wait for me to announce it once again in the middle of the semester. I'm announcing everything at the beginning of the semester. Take your preparations accordingly. If I have to change the dates, very unlikely, but if I have to change the dates, I will announce it. But assume that all the dates are final, all the dates announced in the course outline are final, and prepare accordingly. Okay? Alright, so after the 4 weeks, we move on to the open economy. In the middle of the open economy, we are going to have our midterm. So the syllabus for the midterm will be the 3 chapters from expectation and the first 2 chapters of open economy. After the midterm, we of course continue with open economy, and once we've completed chapter 19 and 20, we will have our first quiz, second quiz, which will be on the 4 chapters of open economy. But of course, the benefit to you guys will be that you would have already studied chapter 17 and 18 for the midterm. So preparation for this quiz will include just studying chapter 19 and 20. So that should simplify things a little bit. Then we go to policy, 3 chapters from policy. Once again, we finish that in 3 weeks. And then at the end of the third week, we have our third quiz, which will be on, of course, just the policy chapters. In week 11, we will have presentations. We will talk more about that later. Let's not get into it right now. Final week is for review, and then we have our final exam. The course assessment weights are given here. So there will be 3 quizzes. This is Eco 209. This is the third theory course from macroeconomics. And you guys no longer have the option of doing well in one thing, not doing well in something else. As eco majors, the expectation is that you guys know everything. You guys will be studying for everything. Therefore, I will take 3 quizzes and all 3 quizzes will count. For Eco 102 and Eco 207, I dropped the lowest quiz and took the best 2, not for 209. Everything counts. 3 quizzes for 20, midterm for 30, presentation for 10, and then a final exam for 40. Remember, final for all Eco courses is cumulative. Everything is included in the final. And then, of course, we have this, the date for all the assessments. So the 3 quizzes, midterm, presentation, final, and the syllabus. So as I said, do not wait for me to announce this in the middle of the semester. The dates are here. Prepare accordingly. We're at a very advanced stage right now. Eco 209, in BRAC it's 209. Everywhere else in Bangladesh or wherever you go, North America, Europe, wherever, the third micro and macro course are always 300 level. Okay, in BRAC we call it 209, a 200 level course, but the syllabus is no different. So you guys are effectively doing a 300 level theory course, and my expectation from you guys is similarly going to be high, not just in terms of academic achievements, but also I expect you guys to be more responsible regarding your learning outcomes. Like, do your own studying up. Don't always wait for me to run after you guys, keep reminding you guys that we have a quiz coming up, a midterm coming up, please start studying. I'm not going to do any of that in 209. You guys are adults at this stage. You're responsible for all of them. And of course, you guys know what the grading policy and all of that is. So effectively, that's it. Okay. Eco 209 includes the extension chapters. If you have done Eco 207 with me, the structure of this course is very similar. The course is divided into 3 parts. At the end of each of that part, there will be 1 quiz. So that's 3 quizzes, a midterm, a final, and a presentation. Okay. So that's it for the structure of the course. And if you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me.